Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. I want to start out by saying again, thank you all for listening and engaging with me. I really appreciate the positive feedback, the good energy, bad energy, everything in between. I take it all in and I try to process it and incorporate it into my life. And I've decided also to really relax more because I still feel like I'm being a little that I'm holding back. And even though I've shared a lot, I want to really get more and more comfortable talking with you, sharing with you, and just elevating myself. And I hope that you're inspired to do the same for yourself. And of course, my podcast wouldn't be a podcast if I did not share a poem. And this poem actually was not written by me. It's written by one of my favorite poets, my godson, and his gift basket is also available on the site, and I'll tell you more about that later. But this poem is called Hope, and it's from the book Age of Aquarius, written by Mark C. Johnson, Harlem, New York poet. And it's called Hope. Hope. Looking forward to the unknowns. Miracles abound. Remembering that we are special. It starts within us. Expecting greatness. Loving all the results. Believing magic is real. That's hope. And again, I thought it was appropriate to talk about things that are, hopeful to us, and miracles are abound. We just have to know where they are. But my podcast today, I was a little torn about it because I wasn't sure if I was going to stick to this particular subject matter. But I am. Events have happened recently, and I kind of wanted to share my thoughts on it and get your opinion on some things. I would love for you guys to share and comment whenever possible. But today's podcast is called To Ghost or Not to Ghost. That is the question. And for those of you who don't know what ghosting means, I actually refer to it as fading to black. But the new term, I guess, is ghosting. But when you disappear on people with no explanation, when you literally disengage, cut yourself off, basically let go of that relationship, whatever that relationship might be, just disappear on that person. And honestly, I have a lot of thoughts about it. I myself, of course, have been ghosted, personally, professionally. People have just disappeared. And this was like really in my younger years. And some of those relationships I really didn't care, and then some of them I did take it personally. I did. And it helped me reevaluate some things in myself and things I maybe needed to work on. And some of them I think maybe were justified and maybe they weren't. I don't know. But anyway, I have to say, ghosting is something I can do without thinking about it. And I'm not proud of that. It's just that in my 40s and 50s, I'm really conscious about who I surround myself with. And the relationships that matter to me, I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm willing to let them know how I feel. But I feel like if I've been telling you all along who I am, what I'm about, then why are we having the conversation again? Why are we engaging with the same subject matter? And I pride myself on accepting people for who they are. And my biggest challenge is I feel like people don't accept me. If I can accept you're crazy, then why can't you accept mine? We're all eccentric on some level, different. And I don't have expectations of people being like me, which is another misconception. Oh, you want everybody to be like you. I don't. But I do want you to respect me my choices, my values, what I'm about. And if you can't do that, then I'm gonna ghost you. Now, again, I think it really is a personal choice. I mean, again, I'm not saying going around ghosting people is the way to go, disappearing. If it's a relationship that you value, then by all means, I say work it out. But on a personal level, as far as relationships go, I know people do it a lot in terms of dating. And, I'm not dating anyone, I'm in a relationship. But I, I guess, again, I think it's a personal choice when it comes to and what you feel for the relationship. If you feel like a conversation is going to make a difference. But I think we all have to decide what matters to us. And I think you get to a certain age. I'm in that space. I can't share space with people that don't fill me up with something. Whether it's inspiration or joy or something I'm learning from somebody else. I've never said I knew everything. I love listening to people and learning something new, and whether it's another culture or a book I've never read, a movie I've never seen. I want to be inspired. And I want to be around people like that. And again, I'm not proud of the fact that I can cut people off. But if I'm hurt, and I'm human, I mourn the loss of certain friendships. And again, I've had to do it recently, cut someone off. Several people actually over the last couple years. And again, I'm not proud of it. It's not something I'm going around saying, oh, yeah, you should just cut people off. But I think we have to decide who we want to be around. And I think the world is so negative now. So many things that are making us angry and sad and depressed. And I can't be around people that gaslight me. That's the other thing. I feel like we spend a lot of years being gaslighted by the wrong people. We're wondering why we're still depressed, why we're so angry, because people are feeding into that. Why can't we ghost those people? You know, is it worthy of a conversation? And the other thing, when that saying, I believe Oprah, she didn't say it originally, but I know she says it a lot, is when people show you who they are, believe them. And I think we apply that to relationships a lot in terms of romantic, but we really don't apply it to friendships. At least not, I don't think so. Because I think the expectation of friendships is so different than relationships, you know, and I think we're a lot more vulnerable, even more so with our friendships than we are with our relationships. We share more, we're open more, we're more vulnerable to we're a lot more we put more emphasis on their opinions and their thoughts of us because they're our friends. But again, I'm open to making new friends, but I'm not seeking new friends. Again, I'm happy with my circle. But I think, again, ghosting or not to ghost, it really is the question. Are people worthy of that last conversation to salvage that relationship? And again, I don't think there is an easy answer. And some people think it's rude. Some people think it's, oh, how can you just disappear on somebody? Easy. You know, I think anytime you're letting somebody inflict pain on you, then it becomes your problem. If you're constantly angry and if you can't blame them anymore. You really can't. And I'll be 55 in July, and I just want to be around healthier relationships. And to be honest with you, I'm learning how to have those conversations with people, those challenging, difficult, the relationships that matter to me. You know, if somebody did something that you didn't like, or if they hurt your feelings, or if they did something, I'm learning how to have these sensitive conversations with people. Because there are things that really I'm very touchy about. I mean, I have to admit, I'm very sensitive about, like, my personal life. Like, I don't discuss my relationship. I just don't. I may share certain things. I think some things should be sacred. I mean, I feel like some things should be between you and your loved one. Pictures is one thing. Personal problems, as far as issues, I will never share that. And the other thing, if I'm with someone now. If this relationship was to dissolve in any kind of way, I would never speak ill of this person. Never. So, I mean, I'm just not the kind of person that whether I'm hurt or not, I don't believe in that. I mean, you fell in love with this person for a reason, so why would I say some negative things about them on, later? And then even if I was ghosting them, I would never do that. Even if I was single, I would never go back to the life I left. I've worked hard to be this person, and I'm where I want to be. And I think that's what I'm proud of about being who I am right now is that I am choosing to be where I am. And I don't have any regrets. I know I don't want to go back to anything. You have to keep moving forward. And that's the other thing. If people are meant to be in your life in terms of friendships, people coming in and out of your life, that's wonderful. If you can help somebody on their journey, they can help you on yours, then I think it's a beautiful thing. But we have to learn to just continue to move forward and be great at any cost. And I think sometimes we just get caught up in not hurting anybody's feelings. We don't want to hurt anybody. But I've learned some people have no problems hurting you. They really don't. Personally, professionally, some people can just, and I've learned to, I guess, take people at face value. But I also have learned to, before I make a judgment about someone, I like to evaluate the whole picture. I like to see people when they're under stress, when they're happy, when they're sad, how they handle their stress, how do they handle their problems. Then I make a decision as far as whether I want this person in my life. You know, Everybody's entitled to a bad day. Everybody's entitled to be upset or sensitive. Because again, I don't want everybody to be like me. And I guess my point in saying all this is that or if they're ghosting you, just to figure out why that is. Why do you want to ghost this person? And is that person worthy of a second chance at a friendship or relationship? Because it can be perceived as negative or rude or impersonal. Because I think we're living in a technology filled world where people are so used to texting people and not engaging in real physical life, which I'm a fan of. You know, I'm a personal fan of let's get together, let's talk, let's look at each other face to face, and then if we decide this ain't working, the friendship, whatever this relationship is, then yeah, by all means. But again, I know I'm very guarded about certain things. Like I said, my relationships, my family, my relationship with God. I don't believe in debating those things. Your relationship with however you worship is however you worship. I've broken off friendships because people have tried to tell me what kind of relationship I should have with God or what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. If you want me to ghost you, that's a clear path for that. I don't like being told how to worship. I don't like being told how to handle certain things. I mean, I make my choices the way I choose to make them. I feel like you have to be respected. And I don't mind opinions because that's just what they are. But when people impose their views, like even with my podcast, I don't like to impose my views. I just tell you my perspective. I'm not telling people what they should or should not be doing. It's more like, this is my suggestion. This is what I'm doing. What do you think? And and I know some people might not like my podcast. They might not agree with all my opinions on certain things, and that's fine. I'm not looking for that. But I can't have friends that are constantly critiquing me and trying to make me feel some kind of way. And it's I have to say it was really really getting in my spirit, and I blame myself because I kept engaging with these people. Why am I still? What do I need from these people that I'm not getting from myself? And it's not to put people down. I just think some relationships run their course. You just have to kind of like, okay, is this feeding my soul? And at this stage of my life, I want to be fed like all the time. I want my relationships to fill me up. And again, like I said in my last podcast, I don't think we should be putting that pressure on our partners or from all angles. And I'm not saying every conversation has to be positive and it's all rosy and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, and I just, the whole point is facing our fears with people, ghosting people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you got to change your phone number, change your address, and say, you know what, I'm not available anymore. I'm not. And like I said, I've been hurt, hardened, probably more than I would care to admit. But again, I'm not saying ghosting people is the way. And getting back to the poem, I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that there are people out there that want to engage with me. And I've always had friends of different races, different cultures. I believe that's why I've gained so much knowledge. I feel like I've really absorbed a lot of information over the years because of the friendships that have had, people I've lost contact with, people that I wish I could reconnect with. But I want better. I'm hopeful that my future is bright when it comes to, as he said, the greatness. I'm looking for other great people, and I know that I'm great. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm just confident. It took me years to get this confident. I mean, years to build up my confidence in myself, in my gifts and my talents. And I feel like if anybody's around you not nurturing or helping you with that, then they just shouldn't be there, or you shouldn't be there. And just taking the time to assess your circle. It's 2023, and taking a look around and seeing who are you sharing your space with, and why are you sharing? Why are they there? Why are you there? And like I said, I'm not really encouraging people to just disappear on people. I mean, you have to be mature. I mean, every case is different. If you're married, you can't just disappear on your spouse. I mean, again, there's a lot of I don't know what's the word. I don't know, a lot of situations that are different. Where disappearing isn't necessarily the way to go. But again, if you're with yourself and you want to know whether you should disappear on this person, just ask yourself, how do they make me feel when I'm in their presence? How do they make me feel when we're talking on the phone? How do they make me feel once we finish talking? Do I feel better? Do I feel fulfilled? And then the other thing of me or hating on me, those relationships don't work either. I'm not hanging around anybody that I'm jealous of. I'm really not. And I can say that because, again, like I said before, I don't want the same things that they want. So I'm genuinely happy for people that are doing well. I want to say congratulations. I want to say, that's awesome. Good job. And because I want them to say the same things to me. And I'm entering in a new territory of my life, like my screenplay. I am so happy with my screenplay, even though it's not completed yet. I'm real close to the end. I'm excited about shopping it around. I'm excited about getting opinions about it. And it's just opinions. I'm open to constructive criticism, but I know it's a special movie, and it's like my baby, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm looking forward to, again, shopping it around and not even sure what roads I'm going to take with it. I'm really not. I'm asking God to help me, lead me with it, because it's a movie that I definitely want to see. And I'm very hush hush about it. Nobody knows except my close circle but what it's about. I don't trust people like that. It's very much a black movie that I want to see. And I'm excited. And it's, again, I can't tell you the joy I feel just creating something that I've always wanted to create. And I'm so inspired by so many people. And again, it gets back to the people in my circle. And my partner is probably one of the most encouraging people I've ever met in my life. Just, he's creative, he's intelligent, and he inspires me to continue to be great. And the one thing I love about our relationship is that he always says to me never to settle. He never wants me to settle, negotiate, always remember my worth, my value. And he doesn't like me to give anything away. Really, nothing. Not even information. He feels like I should be getting paid for everything that I do. And I honestly, he's right. He's 100% right. I'm worthy of that. And I am who I say I am. And I think, again, in closing, that this is to build your confidence, not just mine. It's not about being arrogant again. I don't care who you are. It's about walking in your truth and walking with other people walking in theirs. And it's not about who's got this or who's got that. And like I said, ghosting people is just simply cutting people out of your life that don't need to be there. And if they do it to you, great. You didn't need them. So again, just think about it. Think about, like, again, the people that you surround yourself with, and just take inventory. Sometimes you got to purge people in your life, jobs, and situations. So again, I hope you take that in stride. And also, my podcast wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't talk about all things Moetic. I presently have a sale going on this weekend until Monday. I'm calling it My Black is Still Beautiful sale. I think I might be misquoting that, but it's Black is Beautiful Friday. Started the actual sale, but it's 20% off all product in my store. And I have a few gift baskets in there, and I'm probably going to do something for Black History Month soon, and also for Valentine's Day. So stop on by my store, All Things Moetic. And again, like I said before, if there's something in there that you want to see as a certain size. And then I also sell prints. If you see something that's framed and you just want the print, that's also an option as well. So if you want to stop by my store and just kind of peruse. And again, it's the perfect space also for gifts. You could also get an Etsy gift card for a special someone for my store as well. And again, I want to thank you for listening and engaging with me, and I appreciate any feedback. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to do the live thing soon. I just got to kind of work my way up to that. But I love to hear from you. If you go to, I believe you can comment on the podcast and just kind of make your comments there. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And thank you again for listening. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world, and that you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. Thank you for listening.